Hello all you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here, and today we're going to be talking about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. That's right. If you don't know already, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown was just announced yesterday, and I'm pretty excited for it. It's a game I've been covering for a bit now, with all the leaks and everything. So it's really awesome to see them sticking with the Test Drive Unlimited name, although adding Solar Crown to it, that's perfectly fine. Again, super excited. The presentation itself was left a lot more to be desired. I was pretty disappointed, not gonna lie. Not disappointed in the same way I'm disappointed with the crew too. More so disappointed in seeing a game that I'm really excited for and not really being shown much. Like I'm excited for more. I was kind of wishing we'd see more. It's a different type of disappointment. Which is all we're feeling as racing game YouTubers at this point, but whatever. Let's get right into the video. So yeah, they pretty much didn't show us much. They didn't show us any racing gameplay, not even a real trailer showing any racing action. So this leads me to believe that they're not as far as we thought they were with Test Drive Unlimited, with developing this game. And one thing I do like so far is that they said, we're not ready, we're not far ahead enough to give you a release date, so we're not gonna. That's something we probably need to see more of, because we've for too long we've been getting half-baked racing games, and we're still getting half-baked racing games. And Test Drive, I don't want this game to be another half-baked racing game. So I'm kind of glad that they're taking the time to develop the game properly, and then release it. Something very not seen much in this community anymore. They also didn't announce anything really with the game. They only shared very little. What they shared to us was that it's going to be taking place on a 1x1 recreated scale of an island, a tropical island. We don't know which island. They just said an island. There's going to be Bugattis, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Those are cars that they mentioned. So it's pretty safe to assume that that's going to be in the game. Of course, exotic cars and all that, and luxury clothing. They talk about luxury clothing as well. So that leads me to believe that there are going to be customization options. You're going to be able to customize your character. And that's really all they've told us about this game. Other than that, we really don't know too much. Now, the one-on-one island recreation, that leads me to believe that the leaks that they're going to be set in Brazil and the south of France are false, although we could be seeing an island like Corsica or Sicily. We could be seeing islands like those appear in this game as a location for the game. Or maybe it could be a one-on-one recreation of an island in Brazil. We don't know. Now, other than that, we don't know much. I'm just going to be listing a couple things that I would love to see in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Things that I feel should kind of be in the game. Things mainly from Test Drive Unlimited 1. Now, Test Drive Unlimited at its core is a rich millionaire simulator. That's pretty much what it is. So I'm not expecting to see like illegal underground street racing or like tuner cars. I'm not really expecting to see those. It'd be cool to have like an R33 or R32 or some JDM cars in there, but the main meat of the game is definitely going to be exotic cars, and then this is the game for it. Test Drive Unlimited, it's always been about hypercars, supercars, rich exotic cars. It's basically a rich asshole simulator. That's pretty much what the Test Drive Unlimited games have been. So I'm expecting Test Drive Unlimited 3 or Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown to be exactly that. So you gotta tailor your expectations towards that. So one of the things I would definitely love to see are purchasable houses. Being able to like purchase your houses and being able to drive around and like buy houses across the map. That's one of the things I love to do in the original Test Drive games, is just buy new houses, upgrade my old houses into nicer houses, better garages and everything. Absolutely love that, and I would love to see it return in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Maybe being able to like furnish your house the way you want to, like make it your own, customize it yourself. That would be fucking awesome as well. But at a base, I would love to see just house owning as a whole be welcomed into the game. Basically full window controls, blinkers, light control. Like you were able to control the blinkers and the lights in the previous Test Drive Unlimited games. That's something I would really love to see, and it's actually something very unique to the Test Drive Unlimited series. You really don't have many arcade racing games that let you have full control like that, so I would love to see that come to Test Drive Unlimited 3. Speed Trap, Sprint, all different race types from Test Drive Limited 1 and 2 I would love to see return. Those are all fun. Even some of like the hitchhiker missions or like the car delivery missions from Test Drive Limited 1, it'd be really cool to see those return as well. Now, this is something I would like to see. Since the game is more than likely going to be focused around the Solar Crown Championship, it would be a very good idea to base the Solar Crown, and this is probably the only time I'm going to say that a game should copy the abomination that is the Crew 2, but I would like to see the Solar Crown be like a summit-like or like a Forzathon-like event where there's new challenges every week and there's always like a new awesome car, like a unicorn car or something, or like awesome rewards to get at said championship. That would be an awesome way to bring people back into the game weekly, monthly, you name it. Bring people back to the game for quite a bit. If there's one thing to copy from the Crew 2 or just the Crew in general, it's the summit. That's really it. But again, if they add a summit-like mode into the game and base it maybe around the Solar Crown, that would be an awesome way for people to bring people back into the game on a consistent basis and keep the game alive. And when your main competitions are Need for Speed and the Crew 2, you really have a good chance to like rise above the rest. I know these weren't really the best in Test Drive Unlimited 2. I loved outrunning them in Test Drive Unlimited 1, but I would like to see Police come back, although I know like it's not like the main meat of the Test Drive Unlimited series. Mainly there to like give you something to do around the free roam. They don't need to come intercept you during races or like bring out helicopters or roadblocks and shit. Just like cops to patrol around, pull you over, or like chase after you if you like crash into them. I really liked them. They weren't like the best in Test Drive Unlimited. In Test Drive Unlimited 2, we probably had some of the worst cops the worst cop system I ever played. Test Drive Unlimited 1, I really liked the cops in that game. And they weren't like a big present force. If you just avoided them, they avoided you. If you could just drive past them at 200 miles an hour, they wouldn't care as long as you just aren't smashing into shit. I would like to see them return in some form. It doesn't have to be anything major, and if it isn't, it's not too big of a deal. As long as they don't pull a fucking Crew 2, advertise cops in the fucking advertisements of the game and don't put it in, that type of thing. Although I would love to see them come into the game. I would love to see them just as like a side activity, be something to do, adds to the realism of the world and just adds to the world feel more alive. In my opinion, our open world racing games that don't really have police systems don't feel as alive as games that do. So I feel like that's a good way to keep the world fresh, keep it alive, that type of thing. And it would be cool to see like a cops and robbers mode come into the game, like sort of Test Drive Unlimited 2, where like you could become a cop. I don't remember how it worked too specifically, but if they improve upon that, maybe being able to become a cop and chase other people down, or maybe just have it as like a separate PvP mode, which is actually something we're going to get into immediately after this. That would be cool as well. I would love to see a multiplayer PvP system come into the game. Just like a PvP list, being able to go and race others, maybe even have like championships and all that, and make it part of the Solar Crown like racing system. That would be awesome to see. Again, any game that has PvP at this point is automatically you're doing a much better job than Need for Speed. So like if they have PvP and they have all these things that keep people coming back, keep people playing the game, then they're off to a winner here. And PvP is something that I feel every racing game at this point needs. It's definitely something that they need. And it's something I would love to see come back into the game. And speaking of multiplayer, being able to just walk around freely, have car meets. I never really played Test Drive Limited 2 in its prime. I was too young. But I remember seeing videos of people just having impromptu car meets in the middle of the road, just being able to walk around, look at other people's cars, get in people's cars, like look around. That's something that needs to return to Test Drive Unlimited 3. That's something very unique that racing games nowadays don't even do. Like Forza doesn't do it, the Crew doesn't do it, Need for Speed doesn't do it. The closest game you're gonna have that does something like that is Grand Theft Auto 5, and you know, that's not even a dedicated racing game. If they bring that unique feature back where you can walk around freely in first person and like look at other people's cars and be like, hey, nice car, or have like impromptu car meets wherever you want, that's fucking awesome. And that's something that I feel needs to return to Test Drive Unlimited. And then the last kind of like idea I have, thing I would like to see in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown are racing clubs. I remember racing clubs from Test Drive Unlimited 1. I never really got to experience them in their full, but I played through Test Drive Unlimited 1 on my PSP, and I just went around the map doing all these different like racing clubs and everything, and becoming the leader of like all of them. But going back on topic, like having racing clubs that you can form, or like basically think of them like the clubs from Forza, where you have like leaders, like sub leaders, lieutenants, and you just have like racing club. You can set up racing clubs and have races, make your own races with like a race editor, and just have a lot of fun in like your own clubs, like creating a Drivecast club or a Craptastic Crew club or an Ass Eaters club. That would be fucking awesome, and I would love to see that come to Test Drive Unlimited. I believe it was a big thing in Test Drive Unlimited 1 back when that was like in its heyday. Again, a game I never really got to experience in its heyday, but it's something I would definitely love to see in Test Drive Unlimited 3. And those are basically what I'd like to see in the Test Drive Unlimited 3, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Really excited for the game. Again, I was kind of disappointed when they showed it off. I was kind of expecting them to show off a bit more. Not disappointed in a good way sense. Like, I want to see more. I'm excited for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. And hopefully this spells a new racing title, a new racing game for us to play, arcade racing game for us to play in the near future. And it spells the welcome return of Test Drive, a game series we have not seen since 2011. The last time a Test Drive, or it was 2012. I think it was 2012. Last time a Test Drive Unlimited game came out, I was in like 6th grade. So it's definitely a welcome return to see Test Drive Unlimited return, and just the Test Drive series in general. It's a series that holds a lot of weight, a lot of clout. So let's hope that Cryoton and all the people working on this Test Drive game do a really good job on it. I'm excited to see the future of this game, and I'm super excited for what comes next. But that's gonna be it for me tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Have a good night, guys.